DanDaDan Season 2, Episode 9. Alright? So, this isn't going to be one of my regular reactions. And the reason why it's not going to be one of my regular reactions is because I actually just did my reaction, but I didn't hit record. My wife was actually looking forward to the reaction, so I got to let her know that it's not coming out. She thinks I'm a failure. So, instead what I'm going to do, I actually just kind of want to go through the episode and kind of give y'all my thoughts on it. I did have a story time. You know, I like to tell like personal stories throughout some of these reactions. I'm not gonna retell that story. I may tell it in the future because it's a good one. But so here's my honest thoughts with this episode. Before we actually get into it, then I kind of want to go through some of my favorite scenes, and you know what I'm saying, we still try to have a good time. You feel me? But all right. So first and foremost, the fight, Okarun versus the Evil Eye. It baffled me how much choreography mattered in this fight. Like, well, not in this fight, but in Okarun's fighting. Because it's like, now that he has found a rhythm in his fighting, his hands is crazy now. Like, his hands is crazy now. Like, he just beat the Evil Eye. Like, I mean, granted, he beat the Evil Eye last time, but that was like I don't want to say like a fluke, but that was just like a surprise attack. No, this one was like he put them things on him. The action was great. Here, what was that part at? We can find it. Like, look at that weave. Oh my god, like, that's what weave was so smooth. And then right here when he put them fists together. Now you know what happens when he put these fists together. Wow, him having one ball was a problem. Him shooting 30 out and Okarun weaving all of those because the train with the music notes, that's like crazy to me. Like that's really dope. When Okarun does that, man, the Evil Eye, bro, stand down. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw that, I was like, oh man, like he's really cooking. But shortly after this, I'm about to play it in a second. But right here, he's gonna do this little like shadow face evil shit, and that's crazy to me. Like, I loved every bit of that. Right here. Oh my God, look at that. That's how I was smiling when I got my first grill. You hear me? I'm cheesing just like that when I get my first grill. Shout out to the white gold with the fangs, man. Fuck they whole house up. At all, you could have angled that anyway, but he aimed for the house. That's some whole shit. All right, so now we're here, right? So moving into the second thing that I really liked about this episode was a couple of reactions ago, I was talking about how I didn't like the Gigi being Okarun and Gigi kind of having that tension. I wasn't a fan of that. Not as a plot point. Like, as a plot point, it's gas. Like rivalry shit. Like, it's Naruto, Sasuke. I love it. You know, Bakugo and Deku. Like, I love that. Right. I just meant more so. I don't like it as a as a fact of the series. Like, be cool with your peoples, man. Like camaraderie. Like, I'm real big on camaraderie and togetherness and everything. So whenever something goes against that, it's always like, damn, you know what I'm saying? But what I didn't take into consideration is that DanDaDan is pretty fast paced. So that plot point actually is done here. Like, Gigi and Okarun are cool again. Like, there's no more, you know, there's no more of that tension. They're back to some brother shit, which I think my expectations were still set to Naruto, where I'm thinking this is like the rest of the series, when in actuality it was just like 2-3 episodes. So that's what's up, man. Oh yeah, hold on. That was another thing too. In his base form, Okarun looking at the Evil Eye, looking down at him and telling him, "Hey man, you too weak to be even talking to me, bro." Like, that is a. Y'all remember back like when those memes was like popular, when you see the glasses and the blunt slide in, and it would be like some thug life shit, like that. Okarun would have got that just now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how he's moving. Like, another thing that I had said in my actual reaction was that I really liked about this too was that whenever we started getting smart protagonists, and I don't want to say when we started getting, because of course we got shows like Detective Conan and whatnot. Like, smart protagonists is not a new thing. But I guess what I'm saying is that in these battles, these battle shonens, like, whenever we would get someone that's like that's typically the smart, like, typically the smart person of the group is not the main character. It's like the side character, and the main character is like an idiot. But like, once we got Deku, it was the first time that I was kind of exposed to the strong main character that's also really smart. And I wasn't a fan of it at first, just because to me, I felt like it kind of took away from the major showcasing of power. Like, when you're watching the Naruto or the Dragon Ball Z, like, it's like, oh, let me get the power of friendship or some shit like that. and now you have people that's like blitzing faster, moving faster, and a new transformation, new power technique that's been, you just kind of realize that you've known this whole, like, and I've always liked that. And to me, I always feel like, okay, well, now having a smart character kind of takes away from the power being extended, because now it's more, oh, let me just strategize. Like, I don't need to hit him with everything I got. I could just spray him down with this water hose over here and he gets nullified. And I never really liked that. But after seeing Deku do it a few times and like it started getting more clever, I learned to appreciate that. And I think Deku allows me to really, really, truly appreciate Okarun here, because again, it's not just the smarts, but it's also the hands. And I bring that up because Deku in this situation, formulating this whole plan prior to all of this, as him trying to find a way to, in a sense, tame the evil eye, and it working, to me, is like, it's really dope and it's really genius. So not only did he come up with the plan, but he had the hands to back up with it. So I really appreciate that. I thought that was like real gas, you know what I'm saying? All right, so this shot was a really weird one for me, because my nigga, why are you grabbing his drawers at the crotch spot, bro? We grab it by the waistband or something, bro. Like, he just, that's pretty bold, bro. Oh yeah, so right here, for y'all that don't know, I'm a big King of the Hill fan. And I already know what situation this is going on right here. This is another John Redcorn situation. Because there's no way in hell you telling me that a brown hair mom and a black hair dad had a pink hair son. I'm gonna start calling Gigi Gribble instead of for Joseph Gribble, because that's what's going on here, right? That's what's going on here, and I think, you know, somebody got to call it out. Hey, now this nigga right here, I fuck with this nigga, man. This nigga was talking shit the entire episode. Now this nigga right here, I'd like to think that this is my spirit animal, because when bro got started, he did not want to stop. You know what I'm saying? He was talking shit from this moment right here. When he looked up, he was talking shit for 24 hours. They built an entire house, and bro was talking shit the entire time. And I feel it, bro, and it's respect. And then what makes it even funnier too is that the connect, the plug, you know what I'm saying? The homie that's in between, he like, bro, he just tripping, he good. He talking about some y'all beautiful and shit. Like, nah, bro, I ain't say nothing about these bald headed, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's my nigga, man. That's look, I know a kindred spirit when I see one. So shout out to this nigga. And now my honest thoughts on the evil eye being at school. It's gas. All right. I personally like the idea that the evil eye is now being belittled to a joke, to a whole comedy thing. Like, I fuck with that, because I fuck with Gigi, and I don't want Gigi to be on the opposing side of everything. So the fact that he is now kind of being reduced to this comedy prop, I'm perfectly fine with that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure there's gonna be moments when, you know, when he's gonna turn up, it's gonna get real, it's gonna get serious, and I'm with it. If you feel differently, which I can respect a lot, because you can't build someone up to, you can't call someone an evil eye and not expect them to have a little bit more edge to them. You know what I mean? So if you feel differently and you think that this should have been more of an edgy character, then, you know, let me know in the comment section and we can kind of talk about it. But like, I personally like the idea of them turning him into this kind of gag. You know what I'm saying? I think that's gas. Hey, the evil eye looking at a soccer ball and saying that's mine and hopping in and all right. So unlike last episode, I'm actually not mad with this being the cliffhanger for this episode, because I think whenever they cut a moment that's like when your heartbeat is like at its peak, that's where it's like bothersome. But I feel like this cliffhanger is more of an introduction to the next part of the story. You know what I'm saying? So I actually don't find nothing too crazy about this. Like, I'm actually pretty fine with this. I am curious, you know, what it means for the rest of the story, because we do know that Okarun already has one. And the idea is that once he gets both, he has to give Turbo Granny the powers back. Like, that's the deal, right? So I guess my curiosity lies within, if this is his ball, if they do get the second ball, then what does the story become of next? You know what I mean? So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen there. This is actually the end of the episode, but there was a few more things I kind of wanted to touch on before I go ahead and close the video out. Okarun kind of coming up on top in the evil eye fight. It was very reminiscent to me of Naruto punching Haku through the crystal ice mirrors for the first time. It's that moment where like you kind of realize like, okay, like all the maybe lucky accidents that you kind of had up until this point, like, no, this is what you're actually capable of. And seeing Okaroon take out the evil eye like that, unlike the last time, because the last time it was, I don't want to say it was a fluke, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like situational, and he didn't really beat the nigga. You know what I'm saying? He more like just knocked him. I guess he really didn't beat him here either, but you know what I mean? Like, I really enjoy the fact that Okaroon was able to do that. Another thing that's very reminiscent of is when Midoriya won that race thing during the school exams. I forgot what it was, when he was the first one across the finish line because he gathered those bombs and smacked it with that plate. Like, I love whenever the person that's kind of been messing up starts to actually show their ass. And so that's what that was for me, seeing Okaroon here. And obviously Okaroon has once won a lot of fights, but a lot of the fights to me have been technical. None of them have been like straight hands. Like, let me actually win because I win. You know what I mean? And that's what this was. So I'm a huge fan of that. The most boring part of the episode, not boring part, the most boring part of the episode would probably been them building the house. But even with them, like, even with that being a thing, they still made it interesting, and it was only brief. It was really brief, but they still made it interesting because now we got nanotech in the series. Now, like, I'm very curious on what the nanotech is going to amount to in the future, because a lot of these points that kind of get made here, they absolutely come back up, and they come back up pretty quick. Like I think when we finally met the Mr. Shrimp, like, once we finally met him, I think like 2-3 episodes later he was an ally. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a big fan of all of that, and I'm just excited to see what they're gonna do with the nanotech. I'm almost positive it's gonna come back. With that being said, I'm sorry again, man. I really felt like the reaction was a good one. I had jokes in there and all this other stuff, but unfortunately, you know, user error, it's on me. I won't be able to get that to you, but I'm gonna make sure I come back with that energy next week. So tap in with me again next week. If you thought the episode was funny, the video was funny, the reaction was funny, or if you thought that I was funny, man, go ahead and shoot me a comment section. Let me know what your favorite part of the episode was. Let me know if you think that, if you prefer the evil eye to be more of an edgy character than you know, a comedic trope. You know, let me know how you feel about that. With that being said, you can read the first 3 chapters remastered of my manga, Infinity Star. Link is in the bio. And if you want to see some terrible art, you can actually click the other link, the Webtoons link that's on there. You can read all 17 chapters for the free ski, but the first 3 will be remastered. With that being said, I'm out of here. See y'all next week.